Throughout 2024, I highlighted all the chart analysts I could find who were certain that XRP was about to have a huge breakout. They may have had slightly different reasons, but there was one major point on which they all agreed. For 7 years, XRP was unable to break out of its symmetrical triangle consolidation phase. Is there agreement? Before reaching the peak of the triangle, it was bound to break out upward. Translation: is that so? An exploding upward maneuver was approaching quickly. Although the precise timing is impossible to determine, there was good reason to be optimistic throughout the year due to historical trends, current market conditions, and the patterns that occur after US elections. The build-up to the breakout felt like it had been going on for an entire year. Allow me to present you to an analyst who accurately predicted this. This is just the latest daring move from him. He anticipated it coming. It would not be surprising if XRP surges to $37 if he is correct this time. Anyone who has been following me for any length of time knows this, just in case. It is not my job to forecast market values. I'm the first to confess that I have no idea what's around the corner. Regarding the market's potential future trajectory, I have a fairly solid suspicion. Although I lack a crystal ball, I have plenty of thoughts on whether the market is in a bull run, a bear slump, or near its peak. However, if my suspicion is correct, just give me a second and I'll explain why you could be right about XRP potentially reaching that mark. First, though, allow me to clarify. A financial expert is someone else entirely. My comments do not constitute investment advice. I beg you, please do not base your financial decisions on anything I say. I simply enjoy delving into these topics and creating videos about them as a hobby. Now that we've taken care of that, let's dive in. CryptoRover is the analyst I'm talking about. 1 million strong social media followers are the acts of a prominent figure in the cryptocurrency industry. To be perfectly honest, I am quite intrigued by their perspective. I may not always agree with the views expressed in this account, and that's absolutely acceptable. A variety of viewpoints is something I can get behind. Their opinions aren't always mainstream, but they deserve praise when they're right. Their prediction regarding XRP's breakout was spot on. To be honest, it wasn't complicated. Assuming you weren't afflicted with XRP derangement syndrome or trapped in an echo chamber, the proof was plainly visible to all. There was an obvious historical precedent. All the numbers fit together snugly. Still, there were those who flat out denied it. For those who were paying attention though, XRP's potential for growth was plain to see. Congratulations to those who were correct. In honor of CryptoRover, who on August 18, 2024, shared this forecast with 1 million X followers, here is a shout out. He made his prediction about XRP's skyrocketing price about 2.5 months before it did. A massive breakout is imminent for XRP. Now, it's acceptable that he didn't plot the complete symmetrical triangle that goes back almost 7 years. In fact, many analysts don't. The pattern was still discernible. Looking at it through the previous cycle alone made the shrinking volatility range obvious. It would have reached its peak in late 2024, but it was bound to collapse before then. Take January 16, 2025, for example, my favorite day ever. A new all-time high was finally achieved by XRP. It was a moment of complete validation after holding it for more than 7 years. That was quite a day. The community was engulfed in a wave of joy and relief. And yet, let me tell you something. What follows is even more exciting. Discovery of prices and a meteoric rise in value. That's the future that holds the most promise. It will happen eventually, at least in my opinion. In a post commemorating the achievement, CryptoRover nailed it. For individuals of us who have been here from the start, this is merely the start, but it caught some people off guard. I mean, who reads anything before hitting publish? He probably meant come, but who cares? Seems like I'm not the one. Regardless, it's praise that is due, isn't it? Seeing it brings you joy. On that one, I couldn't agree more. However, I'd like to take a moment to address this. A new post, written as recently as this morning, is this here. This is a price chart for Ethereum. Compare Ethereum to the US dollar. Meanwhile, what about the daring assertion? The price target for a breakout is $18,000. Once again, he has drawn Ethereum's trajectory in a symmetrical triangle. Looking at the previous cycle in context, the range of volatility is clearly narrowing. There will probably be a rip-roaring increase in price if this breaks and the market is really bullish. It seems reasonable to me, to be honest. The idea that we have already passed the peak of this cycle is simply not convincing to me. I've been explaining the rationale behind it for some time. Historical patterns and genuine top indicators can be spotted by anyone, not just chart whizzes. I'm merely an ordinary man, just like everyone else, attempting to make sense of everything. Some patterns can be identified without any prior knowledge of finance. Digging into the right signals will help us all make sense of things. Keep in mind the past. Examine the major signs. Also, they haven't gotten there yet. I went into detail about topics like Bitcoin's dominance and whale accumulation in my previous video. Prepare yourself for a secret. Whales are very careful and seldom mess up. A plethora of considerations are involved, and the plot begins to emerge if one is attentive. When this breaks, it will be because, and eventually it will, the main question is, will it go up or down? The kicker though is that there is always the chance of a temporary decline. A huge upswing is being predicted by the majority of the analysts whose work I follow. The sentiment is evident from my recent videos in which I delve into this. Consider this a potential game changer. This is very important, so listen up if you're an XRP holder. Not whether it will move, but how far is the true question. Although I have never done or will ever do price predictions, the opportunity here is too great to pass up. We can simplify it. Please consider this with some skepticism because I am not an expert in charts. Is the $18,000 price tag for Ethereum this cycle truly insane though? For the truth, I don't. However, I do not rule out the possibility that it will reach its destination. Absolutely not. Things start to heat up after that. What would happen to XRP if Ethereum did indeed reach $18,000? Reason being, it's not a particularly original idea. It is entirely possible, a little math will do for now, priced at $18,000, around $2,100 billion would be Ethereum's market cap. As a result, the value of Bitcoin would probably be even higher. A total of $10 trillion or more could be achieved by the cryptocurrency market this cycle, which would be absolutely insane. Just think about that for a moment. It should be mentioned that XRP can boast about its history in this regard. Before the SEC began to restrict its operations, XRP was Ethereum's main competitor in terms of market capitalization in 2017 and 2018. Now listen up. At least 4 times throughout its existence, XRP has asserted its claim to that position. Indeed, XRP has demonstrated its ability to excel in an equitable environment. Seeing it brings you so much joy, doesn't it? For some reason, XRP is functional. That's all there is to it. Crypto investors from all over the world are interested in it, and rightfully so. Don't be surprised if XRP starts vying for second place. An XRP price of $37 is possible if its market cap reaches $2,100 billion, surpassing Ethereum's. Although I recognize the plausibility of this situation, it does not align with my initial forecast. My bias would be towards skepticism if I were to place a bet. To me, it seems implausible that Ethereum will reach those levels and XRP will match them. Now comes the thrilling part. The price of XRP could still reach $20 even if our prediction is off by 50%. The idea of half is still exciting, isn't it? Even though it doesn't sound ideal, quite a few experts concur. Bitcoin settling in the $15 to $20 range is totally logical. What comes up after this? Everyone knows that cryptocurrency prices can skyrocket, but the real question is whether Bitcoin will attract enough capital to cause a profit shift to altcoins like XRP and Ethereum. When will those levels be visible? Very possibly. Here's the exciting part. There is no crystal ball. If you're completely mistaken, the gains could still be enormous. The price of Ethereum could reach $10,000. That market cap suggests XRP has the potential to surge past $20. That is not idealistic, it makes sense. A humorous turn is this. On X, I saw a meme that made me laugh out loud with the caption, "Breaking news, Ethereum finally hits $5,000. It featured Vitalik Buterin looking a bit older. I felt compelled to share it because honestly, nobody would have thought of that in the last several years. Crypto continues to astound us. The excitement comes from that. Everyone remembers those memes, the ones with Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse made to look 90 years old and captioned with things like, "At long last, XRP reaches $1. Well, how the turntables have changed all that, as Michael Scott would put it. Must adore it, doesn't it? Allow me to change gears now. I think it's reasonable to say that ETH has reached rock bottom. Look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. I won't go into detail because I touched on this in my previous video.